With the horses, I'll swim through the sea, I'll climb to the mountain tops. Won't you come follow me? I'll take time to notice all that I see, and after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. Canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly last forever. For all that we know, the roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
Buenas, Tiro, Ali. I cannot remember the rest of the words for hello throughout Micronesia. Mogetin. Buenas, Micronesia. My name is Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Welcome to our Saturday, November 16, 2019 edition of Kandit News here in our studios in Tumon, Guam. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. I may have a little bit of a slur because grapefruit juice that has been distilled. What time did you wake up today?
I woke up early today. My son called.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
I woke
awesome.
up early.
Winner, 4 p.m. Winner. Chicken dinner.
I'm the winner.
Oh, you're the winner? What time?
Muller.
1, 4, and 5:30 p.m.
11, 12, 1, 4, and 5:30 p.m.
5:30, he's the winner.
So you needed to pee 5 times.
Or to get up and yell.
Or to get up and yell at the kids?
Because they were making sound.
Let's say yes.
Let's say yes. We hope everyone had a wonderful Saturday, except for Janella Carrera, who did not have a wonderful Saturday.
No, and then my daughter, because I dyed her hair for her birthday, woke me up twice. I woke up early, had breakfast, all of that. I went to take a nap. She woke me up twice to do her hair, and I'm pissed because I do not get up and even do my own hair. So I'm like...
That is mommy's little girl for sure. And her name is Johnny. Let's get started with that white car. A few weeks ago, oh Lord, I forgot the license plate number.
TM3688.
TM3688?
Yes.
TM3688. TM or TU?
TM.
TM3688. It is a white Hyundai. Was driving in front of BP Carbolito Elementary School in Barragana. Was speeding, was on her phone. She hit a dog that the owner was trying to catch, and she drove off laughing on her phone. So if you see this car, please call 472-8911. If you don't want to be identified, call Crime Stoppers at 477-4357 or 477-HELP and report this car in because she is a rhymes with witch and should not be on the road. She reminds me very much of Marlene Evely, the woman who killed Jenny and Rick DeVid's son because she was a reckless driver. And I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Baby Zion DeVid. Yes. So if you see this car, please report it right away and get this woman in jail for her crimes. Next, we have a special.
Mui's Garage for all your automotive needs. If you need to get your car painted, he specializes in motorcycles too, on their engines and all of that. So call Mui at 688-2944. Mui's Garage. He's on Facebook, and his first name is Jun. If you use the word Kandit, Johnny or Troy, you will get a discount to help you with your finances.
And I mean, check it out. I mean, I know you, my hetero brothers out there.
Right.
Just right. Eric's like, right. Just love that first picture. I don't know who that chamarita is, but she's stacked. Look at that on the front and in the back as well.
I love it.
You
You know me, Cello.
Leighton loves that right now.
I know a pretty girl when I see one, and I don't pretend.
She's got a flower on her hair and a flower beneath her shorts, and she is ready to assess your car. And I don't know, that looks like what would you call it? Like a souped up engine?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A souped up engine by Mooey's Garage. Look at all this stuff. Those are actually nice rims. What kind of car is that? Is that a Hummer?
Yes.
And what kind of bike is that?
Maybe an R1.
Hey, look at our friend Nicolo. All gangster. Look at that. Be like.
Dude, I went to elementary with him.
I went to high school with him at JFK. That's all of our promo stuff. Now it's just straight into the news.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and let's just get straight into. So, wait, hold on one second. Issa.
Someone's out there probably.
Issa, stop that. So, this week has been a week of exploration and the discovery of a whole lot of misconduct and corruption, not just in the Leon Guerrero administration, but in the governor's office. And and our top story tonight is a very sad story, and it's making many people very angry on social media ever since we've revealed it. But before that, I just noticed there's a whole blob of glitter.
Yes.
What's that called?
Slime.
Glitter slime? I want to see.
Don't get it on the computer, okay?
Kids love this stuff,
Dude,
huh?
it's oddly satisfying.
And
It
is
is.
Ollie's. This is Johnny and Annie's.
Yes.
There's a child crying. I think
Yeah.
it sounds like
It's my granddaughter.
that is.
And we
Magwaita.
can't, no, that's Micah.
Oh, that is.
And we cannot make her cry long because she'll tell her dad on us.
They are lovely girls. They are tough girls. Anyway, so I understand why people are upset. I very much do.
You worked for the governor for 8 years, right? 7 years, 8 years?
From 2011 to 2017.
So 6 years,
Yeah.
about 6 years. Did you ever do that? Did you
No.
ever?
No.
But you know of it happening. People not taking out from their leave, or just like
No.
never.
The governor's office. Granted, Governor Ed Calvo was not. Yumiko, you are cramping my style, man. The Governor Eddie Calvo, the big stuff, right? The big corruption stuff. Yes, they did. And yes, I'm shut about stuff like that, right? But these smaller things that, I don't know if we can say smaller, but these more obvious things, seeing people through applications. And the reason I remember this hump time thing is because, like, I worked a lot. Like, I would clock in. There was no clocking or anything, but I would get to the office like around 6:30 in the morning, leave, anytime. I never left when the sun was out. Let's just put it that way. I never ever left when the sun was out, unless I was sick. So I'd go home normally at like 9 p.m. Philip Leon Guerrero, who he works for Senator Regine Lee now. He used to be a show host at News Talk K57. He would stay almost as long as I would. We had a couple. There were only 4 of us in the communications office at the time, and we had vast responsibilities, and we did a lot. So we would stay late, like 11 p.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes we wouldn't sleep, like drugs or not. we wouldn't sleep because there was a lot of work to do. I asked once whether we could accrue any comp time, because it was an issue that came up with police officers who were owed comp time, and they sued the government of Guam for that comp time from back in the Camacho administration. And so I asked, just out of curiosity, whether we in the governor's office could accrue comp time because we worked longer than the 40 hours. And they said no, because we're salaried employees, and comp time just didn't apply to us. It was only for a specific group of GovGuam employees. And as we find in Executive Order 95-11, signed by Governor Carl Gutierrez, that's true. We could not accrue any comp time. And so I mean, there were, when I got pulled over, because I used to speed a lot. Whenever I got pulled over, I took the ticket, you know? When I would never ever volunteer that I worked at the governor's office. I knew a couple of people who did that, but by and large, people who worked in the governor's office at the time were very conscious of the standards that the public held us to, and well, we just didn't want to get in trouble.
Well, in the private sector side, if I only work 20 hours that week or that pay period, my boss would sign off on it, and then she would write a note and says give her whatever leave she has, right, to cover up to my 80 hours if I had enough. The lady at the payroll would write back down and say she only has 40 hours or she only has 20 hours, so that they're gonna apply that to my timesheet.
And it cannot be the full 80 hours.
It cannot, no.
Yeah.
So why isn't there any accountability? We should have accountability, especially there.
In the governor's office.
Right.
Yeah, especially. Anywhere in the government, and especially in the governor's office, because this is taxpayer funds.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe because of the big corruption that happened in the Calvo administration, the Leon Guerrero administration is thinking, oh, this is peanuts. But this kind of corruption didn't happen in the Calvo administration. Not this kind. This is sort of in your face, arrogant, not even willing to disguise it or anything. It's just all right there. Well, anyway, our first story for the night is that the governor's security officer and communications director, Steele, gets special treatment.
You can go to Troy's computer.
Criminal activity in the governor's office is coming to light. On Friday, Kandit exposed Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's communications director. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong story. Sorry. Sorry. Wrong one. That's Johnny's story.
You can read that, Chelo.
No, because we have to do it in the order. Because that one involves Ryan Shimizu, and that's our top story. Carrera backpacked off a conference and used illegal leave hours again. So yesterday we brought you the story about how Janela Carrera used 72 hours of compensatory time, which she was not qualified to use, for a European vacation between June 26 and July 9, 2019, according to her leave documents. Well, there were two other leave documents that we found for which were reported on September 13. That's her address while on leave for those dates is the Kensington Hotel in Phoenix. There is no indication on the application as to what training conference this is. However, her paid leave hours were marked as training off island. September 13 was a Friday. The following Monday, September 16, was the start of personal leave Ms. Carrera took to Los Angeles, according to the second leave application approved by Mr. Babalza. From Monday through Friday, September 20, she took 40 hours of compensatory time off rather than using any of her accrued annual leave. Can we go to my screen so people can see her Instagram post? So on September 15, Janela posted on her personal Instagram page this picture of an In-N-Out burger. She was in front of an In-N-Out restaurant in Las Vegas, even though Las Vegas is nowhere in her leave application. But, you know, maybe she was driving from Arizona and took a detour through Las Vegas so that she could arrive in Los Angeles. Ms. Carrera's leave application said her address while on off-island would be Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA. However, on September 15, she posted on her Instagram page pictures outside an In-N-Out restaurant in Las Vegas. And she said she is, quote, driving around and scrolling, unquote, looking for something to do. And then you see in one of her Instagram conversations or posts or the comments, Jeremy Julien asks, where are you guys at? She says, Vegas, at Jeremy Julien. Are you guys in town? Jeremy Julien says, at Janela Carrera, I'm not, but hit my mom up. I'll let her know you're in town. Jeremy Julien, and whatever. And then Janela says, we're just driving around and strolling. Let me know. I'm with, and then we don't want to put the name of her family member, and we want to visit the link today. According to Executive Order 95-11, which governs the use of compensatory time, Ms. Carrera is not eligible for comp time because of the status of her position as a political appointee. Kandit reported Friday about the earliest of Ms. Carrera's leave applications, which showed she was paid for 72 hours of work while she was on vacation to Europe between late June to early July. She had accrued only 40 hours of annual leave time by the date of her application for leave, May 29, 2019. By the date of her application for her next personal trip to Los Angeles, August 27, Ms. Carrera had accrued 64 hours of annual leave, more than enough leave hours to apply to the Los Angeles trip. According to her leave forms, Ms. Carrera hasn't used a single hour of her annual leave for either of these vacations. Governor's office employees are able to cash out up to 320 hours of unused annual leave hours by the end of a governor's term. Ms. Carrera, if she remains a governor's office employee through December 22 and does not use any of her annual leave hours she accrues, she will have banked 416 unused annual leave hours and be able to cash out 320 of those hours at the end of Ms. Leon Guerrero's term. Ms. Carrera receives a gross salary of $75,000 annually. This means she earns about $36.05 per hour. Just about. Considering that Ms. Carrera does not receive any pay raise while in public office, the gross payment she will receive from taxpayers at the end of Ms. Leon Guerrero's term will be $11,538.46 for her cash out. Now, the thing that strikes me the most, because Governor Leon Guerrero can come back and she can say, well, we're sorry about this. We apologize 21 times like Ray Tenorio did, but we didn't know that she couldn't use comp time. We weren't aware of the executive order. Aside from that being baloney, the fact that she hasn't used a single hour of annual leave.
Maybe her lawyer told her that they can.
Who's her lawyer?
Her son, right?
Oh, you're talking about the unlicensed legal counsel
Yeah.
for the governor. You know what? Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Because this is supposed to go through a whole lots of checks and balances and control mechanisms in the
They should
executive
call
branch.
Troy and ask him for the checks and balances because he'll tell them, like, oh no, girl, you gotta use your leave, girl.
No, but the fact that she never used, they knew she had all of these unused annual leave hours that she was accruing, and she didn't use one. By that second vacation, tells me they absolutely knew that about this comp time versus annual leave time. They absolutely knew, and so they cannot use the excuse that they just didn't know, because they purposely did not allow her to use her annual leave time and to use her annual leave hours.
So she can cash out at the end.
Yeah, exactly. $11,538.46, just about, before taxes. So, she sucks.
Super sucks. Double S.
She's and so there were comments on this. I'm sorry. Let me just go to the comments on this one, because people are upset, and of course it's understandable. There are rather racy comments in the first story that we did. And it's why we called it Miss Terrificana. Some people allude to that she looked like a pageant model.
Yeah.
And other things. And hashtag Pornhub.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh yeah.
Asking
like
for a friend.
Miss Terrificana. So in the comments on that story, I remembered yesterday's story. Captain Bonnie Suba, retired Guam Police Department, said that is theft.
Mm-hmm.
Just as simple as that. It's theft. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Paul Tenorio says social media works again in mysterious ways. Back in the heydays, no one would know what was going on. Deneen Eklund Brown says, what the hell? Roz Javen Meno says, maybe she, the governor, and Tony Babatsev didn't know that there was no such law, and they thought it will not get noticed and reported. How dumb and stupid can they be? Timothy Kaut says, dang, don't you just love that? After the people were promised this government was going to do something right for a change, well, I guess you can't trust anyone nowadays. Once again, we got played and suckered into many deals in just a short amount of time, in which profit the rich and take away from the poor. Ever wonder why the hard-working people that keep this island turning can't even come close to be able to afford a vacation, and yet the people we elect take advantage of others for their own benefit because the people cannot say anything about corruption and misspending of government funds? Benny Antisquantis says, why do other news media not report this? I'm beginning to think they're paid off to keep things quiet and restrict journalism. Well, maybe other media will start to report this. It's because we did ask, or we FOIA'd the governor's office for this when we had a hunch about something, and so we asked for these documents, and we're more than willing to share it with the rest of the media. I love this Whitney Houston thing from Verna Aginbaza. Rico Velasquez says, I bet she takes her Instagram down in the next 24 to 48 hours. Jules Therese says, Rico, go check and let us know. Johnny Rosario says, Rico Velasquez, I wonder if Dr. Cabrera regrets it. Watch for the latest on that on Mariana's Dirty Laundry. I cannot say what Jamar Mendez said because we don't want to go into Facebook jail. John Leongro says resign. Marga again says, and I bet she didn't use anything from her trip. I bet she didn't get us anything from her trip. Tis, no gifts for the public she robbed. Lance D says, $36 an hour. HFS, I need to change my profession to something that requires no goddamn skill. Director of Communications, no skill whatsoever. Wait, lying should be a skill. Evie Marie Salas says HFS. Trace Uggan says OMG. Jules Tree says she makes about 3 times what I make, but I still get to help pay for her vacations. Adulting sucks. My goodness. People are angry, and rightfully so.
Super angry.
But there's more. There is more happening from the governor's office, and we'll turn to Johnny Rosario for that.
Can you open it on so he's not on my face?
Oh, which one is it? This one, right? This is the first one?
Yeah, but open it on our website.
Oh, yeah. Good call. So we can go to my screen now, Chilo.
Criminal activity in the governor's office is coming to light. On Friday, Kandit exposed Governor Lou Leonguero's communications director, Janela Carrera's theft of government funds. Around the same time of the release of that story, KUAM broke the news and surveillance video of one of Miss Leonguero's police security guards stealing from Familia Mart in Chalampago. Late Friday, the Guam Police Department identified the Guam police officer as Ryan Jean Guerrero Shimizu, the 49-year-old nephew of former police chief Jack Shimizu. Ryan Shimizu was arrested, booked, and released for theft of property, lost or mislaid, and for official misconduct. Police Chief Stephen Ignacio placed Mr. Shimizu on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Quote, I want to assure the community that the Guam Police Department holds every employee to the highest standards of professionalism on and off duty, Mr. Ignacio said. Despite his assurance, we must note the special treatment Mr. Shimizu is receiving. People arrested for theft are normally booked and confined. Ms. Carrera's case is even worse. She was paid for her personal European vacation between June and July without deducting any personal leave hours. She applied for compensatory time, which she is not allowed by law to accrue. Not only has she been she's not been prosecuted for her crime, nor has she lost her job for it. Her legal actions were signed for and covered up. Her application for the illegal leave hours was approved by Ms. Leonguero's Chief of Staff, Anthony Babauta. Her timesheets, which would count those illegal hours towards the 2 pay periods that covered her vacation, would be signed by a timekeeper at the governor's office, whose actions also should be under scrutiny. So should the governor's office payroll certification officer, who has the duty under law to certify payroll against illegal actions such as these. Within the executive branch of the government, there are certain control mechanisms in place to guard against theft of government funds. In the case of Ms. Carrera's vacation pay, someone within the Department of Administration's payroll division signed off on Ms. Carrera's payroll check, even with her leave application indicating the illegal use of compensatory time. This wouldn't be the first time Mr. Babauta got himself into trouble. In the June 7, 2014 Washington Post article, report, ex-Interior Department official steered federal awards to friends, reporter Josh Hicks wrote. President Obama's only cabinet level official from the U.S. territory of Guam steered federal contracts to friends, engaged in discrimination and sexual harassment, requested and received personal favors from subordinates, and benefited personally from taxpayer-funded trips, according to a watchdog report. The article goes on to state that Mr. Rabauta, the former Assistant Secretary for Insular Affairs of the U.S. Department of Interior, was determined by federal investigators to have directed the awarding of federal grants worth $451,000 against the advice of grant specialists. Further into Mr. Hicks' story about Mr. Babauta's misconduct in public office, the report said that Babauta, who is married, frequently met with a girlfriend during trips he booked for government business, including a meeting in Arkansas with the state's health department and the Marshallese ambassador. His mistress was in Arkansas at the time, visiting with family and doing work for her former Congressman Vic Snyder, the report said. Despite the investigation into Mr. Babauta's crimes and his forced resignation from the Obama administration due to them, Ms. Leon Guerrero selected him to be her chief of staff. Ms. Leon Guerrero herself is no stranger to misconduct, especially as it relates to clear conflicts of interest she promised during her campaign she would avoid. On July 25th, 2019, the governor sat right next to her son, the president and CEO of Bank of Guam, and signed over $30 million in bonds to build a new trash cell at Leyzon directly into the bank her family owns and operates. We asked Ms. Carrera for weeks prior whether any controls would be put in place to prevent the inappropriate handling of those funds through the task order process from happening while Ms. Leon Guerrero was governor. She said that in the opinion of the administration, there was no conflict of interest. Months prior to Kandit tried to question one of Ms. Leon Guerrero's staffers, Darlene Salas, about misconduct on part of her husband, Seaport employee Paul Salas, and whether she was involved in receiving any illegal remuneration from the conspirators who planned the witch hunt firings of 7 port employees. Kandit had exposed a series of secret recordings of Mr. Salas and his supervisor at the time, former Port Safety Administrator Frank Roberto. The recordings provide clear evidence of Mr. Salas and Mr. Roberto's part in a conspiracy with former Port Legal Counsel Mike Phillips to dispose of evidence and to falsify documents during an active investigation into Mr. Phillips and then Port General Manager Joanne Brown regarding their misconduct in the infamous Port 7 case. Part of these recordings included admission by Mr. Salas that he and Ms. Salas' son was hired at the port as a reward for their role in covering up the port administration's illegal firing of the 7 workers. The Civil Service Commission recently found that the port management was at fault for the firings. The fired employees are expected to be compensated for the losses they have suffered since the firings in December 2012. Despite the revelation of the secret recordings, Ms. Leon Guerrero's appointee to Deputy Manager Seaport position, Connie Jo Brennan Shinohara, who was responsible for the investigation into the firings, has not brought any charges against Mr. Salas. Mr. Roberto no longer works there, or anyone at the seaport who had a part in the illegal conspiracy. In fact, she has colluded with Mr. Phillips and Seaport board members and Inarajan mayoral candidate Anthony Chargaloff Jr. to prevent justice from happening in the case. Ms. Leon Guerrero's silence and participation in misconduct at the highest levels of government slowly is being revealed by island media and by whistleblowers. Despite the public outcry for her to fight corruption, so far she has dug in her heels and provided special treatment and protection for herself and for those who are in.
That's a lot. That's a lot of players within the governor's office and within the governor's cabinet and the governor herself who have conducted themselves in an illegal way. And yet, the comments on this story are very active about how come nothing's being done about these people?
Mm-hmm.
People are really outraged about it. You want to? Do you see any of those comments there?
Wait, I wanted to bring up when that happened to Joey Terlahi.
Mm-hmm.
Her instinct was to have his resignation written out for him, meet him at the office, and have him sign it, and she let him go.
Yeah.
Everybody else here that has clearly went against, whether it's an ethics violation, whether it's really against the law, and we cite the law, nothing. And you know what I think it's from? Because it's coming from Kandit.
Oh, screw them. Well, more will come from Kandit. You just keep on with your bad selves. Sige Nai?
You forgot to put in that the story about the lawyer, about her son-in-law who's not a lawyer.
It was your story.
Well, you know, we forgot, we forgot to add it.
So Kandit forgot to put that part in. Sorry, Cello. Sorry.
It's okay, but your face is all red, Cello.
Can I have another one of these?
Yeah.
Is there
Eric got it.
You have it there, Cello?
I finished it.
You finished it? I just did one. Look how pantsy I am. I just did one.
Is there grapefruit juice in the fridge?
Another grapefruit juice?
There is.
I'll open it for you.
No, Cello, it's okay. It's okay. I'll get it after, but thank you. So, yes, that is the other thing. That is the other thing about her own legal counsel. And, like, perhaps, what role did this guy without a full lawyer's license play in advising Lulian Guerrero about all of these different things? It would be funny. Well, not funny. I think people would be upset. It would be a twist of irony, I would say, to see that maybe he provided them with bad advice.
Right.
Another reason that she should fire
You
him.
think she'll blame him?
No.
Never, right?
That's her son-in-law. You know, another problem with nepotism in the government of Guam. Accountability goes right out the door. Now, one of these, the first person that she mentioned in this story was Ryan Shimizu, one of the governor's bodyguards, right? He's a Guam Police Department officer. We found out earlier today that there is more than meets the eye to this story, and there's something very disgusting and twisted about this story.
Open it there.
And too bad we don't have a picture of the guy,
I know.
right? Here, let me open this story.
Go to Troy's computer, Prim. Governor Lulian Guerrero's security guard, the Guam police officer Ryan Shimizu, stole a wallet that contained $300 from a man who saved that money to afford the co-payment for a medical procedure his daughter needed. Kandit confirmed that the victim, who does not wish to be identified because of his daughter's medical privacy, dropped his wallet at Familia Mart in Chalampago, the same wallet Mr. Shimizu took from the store and stole money from. The victim's daughter has a debilitating and painful medical condition. While the victim has insurance, the co-payment for this type of treatment is expensive. Mr. Shimizu was arrested, booked, and released from police custody on Friday. He was charged with theft of property, lost, and mislaid and official misconduct. He received special treatment, and most people charged with theft are booked and confined to the custody of the Department of Corrections Detention Center in Agana until their magistrate's hearing. He is a member of Ms. Leon Guerrero's executive security team and is a piece of shizna for stealing from a little girl who is suffering.
That he is. Now, we cannot, we know who the victim is. We know where the victim works. And if you knew where the victim worked, you would think that this was some kind of odd political conspiracy by the governor's office to put it. Anyway.
Not him stealing the wallet, because that's on him, right?
Yeah, that's on him. But
it's what came after.
It's where the victim works.
Yeah,
that
no,
is,
no,
yeah.
I know what you're saying, but it's the steps that we're taking after.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this piece of whatever.
Piece of work.
I wonder how your mom and dad feels. You know?
I wonder if I don't think he knew.
It doesn't
right?
matter.
I don't, but I'm not sure if he knew, if he took that and he knew that, boy, that is something else.
It doesn't matter.
That is something else. And then the person who we confirmed this with before we confirmed it with the victim, said, he just said, man, I really hate Sakis. I know I get that wrong all the time. And that this. So we also confirmed that no, the guy was not paid back. And so,
What?
Yeah. And he's
getting paid administrative leave.
And he was paid yesterday. He got a paycheck yesterday. This Ryan Shimizu. Yesterday
Why?
was
Because he banks at Bank of Guam. Because only the people at Bank of Guam got paid yesterday.
No, the other banks, just not Coast 360. I
No.
wonder if they got paid today.
I read the story, and the story said just Bank of Guam.
I wonder if Coast 360 people got paid today.
I think
They're
so.
supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, otherwise our inbox would be blowing up
Yes.
with people.
Yes.
So let's see what your comments are on this. Where am I? Oh, here. Where am I?
Oh, someone's watching from Lifehouse. Hi, Bibo Guam.
Hi, Biba Guam.
That's cool.
Paris. Someone's watching from Paris.
Oh, from
Oh, yeah?
Paris.
I think Janella was there on her European tour.
Joseph Dizon. Hi.
Hi, Joseph. Hi, Familian Issa J. Rivera. Hi, Claire Castro, Francis Cruz. Hi, Jacob Nakamura. Deneen Eklund Brown, who says, happy Saturday evening. When can we buy Kandit t-shirts so we can show our support? Michael Carlo Netterdog, who I know is watching right now. See, there is requests and dedications for Kandit t-shirts. Can you please
Dude, I
give us
thought
our
we were
design?
friends.
I know, right?
I thought we were gangs.
You're no longer allowed to call Johnny if you can never produce that shirt. Jackie Sablon Castro says, evening, Troy, Johnny, and Eric. Federico De La Cruz says, buenas. Anel Sibet Seguenza Guerrero says, hello, everyone. Deneen Eklund Brown is crying. I think that's because of the Asher Dean Lebowski.
Yes.
Yeah. Jacob Nakamura says, we love you, Mr. Lebowski. Deneen says, prayers continue for his family. Rosie Bear says, morning, Guam. She's in Texas right now. Barbara Ramos says, buenas. Amy Jackson says, hi.
George Delgado Nation says, bubbles in troubles.
Mr. Lebowski says, thank you. God bless the Candid Gang.
Thank you. Mr.
Rosie Bear
Lebowski.
says, we're cutting in and out. That was a little bit ago, though. Josie Dizon says, listening to you guys all the way from Paris. Awesome. Biba Guam says, buenas Guam. Irina Contra, hello, everyone. Biba is watching from Livehouse. Jackie says the fermented grape juice is kicking in. The real Joe Cruz says Play-Doh or Play-Doh?
Yeah, it's slime.
Oh. I was like, you mean like the philosopher?
Or
Platu?
Platu. Oh, the real Joe Cruz. I met his girlfriend yesterday at the salon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Just hi. She was talking to my cousin.
Their kid is so freaking cute, man.
Oh, the kid wasn't there.
Oh, but when he was posting the pictures of his kid, so cute. Biba Guam says, Icy Bubbles, wanna be model?
Hi, Tara. I miss you. I hope you look so beautiful. You haven't aged a bit.
Biba Guam says, Bubbles must be stroking Tony for those leaves.
You know, I was just going to say that. Tony is giving her whatever she wants, and I wonder why. There is a rumor.
Amy Jackson has the best one next. Look what it says.
Where?
And swallows. Off a day, Rosemary Mancipit. Amy Jackson says, I just want to see a pop-up on your screen. Julie Ann Takagi Padua says, yay, Adaloop has a circus featuring the governess and her effed up dream team. Biba Guam says, F the rest of the news media. Candid News is the only organization that brings out legitimacy to its viewers. Hopefully the other news teams, though, because, you know, there are people who don't watch us, and they will only watch, like, KOAM or PNC, or they will only read PDN. Or the more we can get this message out to all of the newsrooms, the better this island will be. But thank you very much for your friendship and your
support,
familial ties with us here at Candid.
Yes.
We are a Candid family. Thank you very much for being with us. Josephine Perez Blanc says, Hafa day from Northern California. Hafa day. Biba Guam says, what happened to the catwalk? Chelo, you're going to have to play the catwalk one now.
It is. It's
Oh.
behind us.
You better work.
Work it, girl. Do your thing.
Kelly Cruz says,
I'm
Buenos Candid
too
News
sexy
and News
for this
Crew.
catwalk. Too sexy for this catwalk. So sexy it hurts.
Yeah.
On the catwalk.
Julianne Pagagi Padu says, half a day from Olympia, Washington. I love you all, Candid News. Shine that spotlight on them crooks. Gina Marie Tenorio Call says, Troy, move your mic closer. Cannot hear you. Well, sorry. Rianne Rayshai says, Buenas and half a day. Troy and Johnny Bibagom says, I'm going to walk to your studio. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Betsy Martinez Alex says, half a day. Troy and Johnny and John is watching at work, Tacoma, Washington. Jason Blas says, half a day.
What's up,
Strong
babe?
real. Thank you, Jason. Oh, hi, Joanne Fullerton. She's back home now.
Good.
Awesome. Our friend Joanne was she was going through something, and now she's back home, and we're very happy about that. Tara Camacho says, hi, Johnny.
I already said hi to Tara.
Ariel Cabanayan Lazada says, that cop kind of looks like Porky Pig, but the Saki version, LOL, of Looney Tunes. He's a piece of work for what he did to that little girl. Tara Camacho sends blow kisses. Elaine Canata says, wow, man, you bring the truth. Half a day from Georgia. Half a day. And howdy. Carl Blas says, hoi, half a day, Troy and Johnny.
What's up, Carl?
Your cousin Melvin Santos
Carl,
is joining
Carl
us?
with the C.
Yes. Your cousin Melvin Santos joined us.
Oh, hi. Hi, Prim.
Rena Canata says, half a day, Troy, Johnny, and Eric. Melvin says, buenas todos. Joshua Taitsino is watching. So are TJ and SC Camacho. Joshua says, I love you, Johnny Rose.
I love you, too.
So sweet. Borja Santiago Guam joined us, and so did Tammy and Jason Rivera, who say Manic Gigolo.
No, they meant to say maniac.
Maniac?
Maniac Gigolo.
What is that?
It's the group in Gigo.
Oh, okay.
The Maniacs.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you guys. Oh, is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, just remind them about Mui's Garage, 688-2944, and his name is Jun. He'll help you. Make sure you mention Candid so you can get a discount. I thought that was cool,
Yeah.
you know?
This is oddly satisfying.
And he's not let that go since he found it. So I don't think the kids should have it back.
It's like a stress reliever.
One more time for good measure. Ready? Work.
Work it, girl. Do your thing.
Hey, on that dance floor.
We love you, Guam.
Good night.